they haven't been there. Take Garrett Cole or Charlie Morton flourishing with other teams. Take Tyler Glasnow, for example. And it makes you wonder, is it time for a regime change? Is it time to move on from the group that really, and this decade has been, and I've said this many times in the past, this decade has been the winningest decade the Pirates fans, Pittsburgh has seen since the 70s. But we can't sit here and take the past as justification for the reason why guys have jobs moving forward into the future. Yes, Clint Hurdle is the third winningest manager in Pittsburgh Pirates history. He has brought winning baseball back to Pittsburgh, and really this past decade given Pirates fans a reason to be excited for the first time since the 90s, the early 90s. He has brought that to Pittsburgh, and forever I will be grateful for that. But we live in a world and we live in a society where it's, what have you done for me recently? And I try to keep things in the big picture, take a perspective on it. I try not to be a prisoner of the moment, but we all are. And in baseball, you have to become a prisoner of the moment, lest you risk falling behind the curve. And the Pirates undoubtedly have fallen behind the curve. They have. Clint Hurdle, when he first came here, took this team from really bad to a winning baseball club, one of the best teams in all of baseball. 2015, the second best record in Major League Baseball. Now we are a run-of-the-mill club to a below run-of-the-mill club under Clint Hurdle and his coaching staff. And it is time that we realize that this front office realizes that and says, okay, we have to move on if we are going to be better in the future. Yes, he has done great things for this team. Yes, he has done great things for this city. Yes, he is a great person. But at the end of the day, this Pirates team is 19 games under 500. 4-22 in their last 26 games. We were 2.5 games back of the All-Star break of the division. Of this division, we were 2.5 games out. Now we sit at 14.5 out. What does that make you think? And why does Clint Hurdle still have his job? Yes, he has his contract extension through the 2021 season. The Pirates may plan on honoring that before they move on to their next manager. Because, yes, in all likelihood, if Clint Hurdle does stick around for the remainder of the 19th season and the 2020-21 seasons, then at that point he would probably call it a career. There's nothing wrong, however, with calling it a career, or at least a Pirates career for him. There's nothing wrong with that. And fans are demanding it. And I am starting to jump on the bandwagon of saying that, yes, it is time to move on. There needs to be someone that is held accountable. We're going to get into this here a little bit later on in the program. But this is inexcusable. And somebody needs to be held accountable for all of this. Okay, this can't be just put out to circumstantial reasons or whatever. There needs to be somebody that we can point to and say, hey. And really, it's a systematic issue. It's not an issue where you can look at and say, okay, there's just one reason why this has gone wrong. We remove that reason, we fix that reason, and we're going to be good. No. It's a broad scope of issues that is all culminated into what is likely going to be one of the worst second halves in all of baseball, and so far has been. Like, we're talking baseball, modern baseball history. What the Pirates are on pace to do right now is the worst second half in baseball history, modern baseball history. That's pathetic. Considering the fact that we are 44-48 heading into the All-Star break and now sit at 48-67. And Clint Hurdle still has his job. You see an issue there? I certainly do, but for some reason, this front office does not. And yes, the 162-game schedule is the biggest picture teller in all of sports. The pretenders and the contenders over a 162-game set, they are, the boys are weeded out from the men. And right now we're looking like we're the boys. But if you are a Pittsburgh Pirates fan, I guess the three things to watch for down the stretch are the Brian Reynolds batting title race, Mitch Keller coming up on Monday, as well as seeing how Starling Marte does the rest of the second half. As the team's post-All-Star break collapse continues, it is time that the Pittsburgh Pirates start to hold people accountable. Accountability is a part of life. It does not matter if it is in the workplace, the classroom, or at home. People are expected to be held accountable for their actions. It is time for the Pittsburgh Pirates to start to hold people accountable. Despite being devastated with injuries in the early part of the season, the Pittsburgh Pirates entered the All-Star break on a high note. The team had won 14 of their previous 21 games to pull within a game of 500 at 44-45. This 44-45 record put them just 2.5 games out of first place in the National League Central, as well as 2.5 games out in the NL wildcard race. Well, since the All-Star break, absolutely everything has gone wrong. The team has played 8 series since the break, and they have lost all 8. They have been swept in 4 of these 8 series, and their overall record is 4-22. Yes, 4-22. When a MLB team goes on a 4-22 stretch, at any point in a season, people need to be held accountable. It is especially true when this 4-22 stretch comes after the team spent the first 55% of the season contending for the postseason. Were the Pirates ever truly a postseason contender? With the way the pitching staff was performing, likely not. However, that does not change the fact that 4-22 is totally and completely unacceptable. Manager Clint Hurdle, in my opinion, is having one of the worst seasons of his career in terms of in-game decision-making. The infield defense has been among the worst of the majors, and that needs to fall at the feet on infield instructor / third base coach Joey Cora. The pitching staff was supposed to be the strength of this club. Entering the season, it appeared the Pirates would have both one of the best starting rotations and bullpens in the NL. Well, the pitching has been anything but a strength. As of August 8th, the Pirate pitching staff ranks 24th in the majors in staff F4-6 and home runs allowed 175 and 25th in ERA 5.03. Chris Archer, Joe Musgrove, Kyle Crick, and Trevor Williams are among pitchers that have either regressed immensely this season and or are having the worst season of their career. Not good. General Manager Neil Huntington is not free of blame either. He is far from it. After the team went all into the trade deadline last year by acquiring Chris Archer and Keone Kela, they needed to back it up with a busy offseason. By making those trades, they signified they were ready to win now. However, their offseason did not match that perceived urgency. The team needed to add another starting pitcher. The middle infield needed help, and another bullpen arm would have been beneficial due to Edgar Santana undergoing Tommy John surgery in September. Well, Huntington failed to address these needs. Sure, he signed Jordan Lyles, but that experiment went as everyone expected. Lyles struggled as a starting pitcher, just as he has done his entire career, and was then traded to Milwaukee. Signing just Lyles was not good enough. Huntington's recent track record in general was porous. The Garrett Cole trade prior to the start of last season was a disaster, and the Archer trade has been even worse. He also rested on his laurels too much following the team's 98-win campaign of 2015. The offseason prior to the 2017 season? Yeah, not much to talk about other than an ill-advised 3-year contract for Ivan Nova. It is also painfully obvious that the Pirate way no longer works. What was once viewed as one of the smartest, most innovating, forward-thinking, and all-around best front offices in baseball has become one of the worst. This is due to their inability to evolve with the sport, but instead getting stuck in their ways. Again, accountability. The Pirates need to shake things up. There is not an argument that can be made to keep anyone on the coaching staff other than hitting coaches Rick Eckstein and Jacob Cruz. Assuming this coaching staff is not in place next season, if there is zero reason to believe this franchise has no desire whatsoever to win. When the sooner you start to cut ties, the better. 4-22 cannot happen. 4-22 needs to lead to people being held accountable and losing their jobs. If this does not happen, the Pirates will send the message that there is no accountability in this organization. Then again, maybe there is none. That would also be a major issue. People need to be held accountable. And as I said, this isn't just a sports thing. This is a life thing. People are held accountable for everything, whether it be in your work life, in your home life, if you're still in school, in your school life. Accountability is a part of life. It does not matter where this may be taking place. It is a part of life. You do a good thing, generally good things happen. You do a bad thing, you are held accountable either way. Take an example. If you are working for, a newspaper and you don't get your article in on time, and you do that, you don't get it in for, 22 out of the 26 days, you're going to be fired. You're in the classroom, right? And you misbehave 22 out of 26 days. You disrespect the teacher. There's going to be punishments for that. You're at home and you don't make your bed 22 out of 26 days. You're going to get punished for that. Accountability is a part of life. And for some reason, the Pirates do not understand this and are really just being stubborn. That is what it comes down to. It's taking a look at the past and saying, okay, this worked in the past, that means it's going to continue to work in the future. Well, it hasn't. Okay, it might have worked 2013 to 2015, but really society in general is moving at such a fast pace, and so is baseball. The problem is the Pirates aren't moving forward with that fast-moving society, the fast-moving culture, and especially the fast-moving baseball innovations. They aren't moving forward along with it. And the thing is, so many organizations are moving along with it, and so many small market teams as well. You look at what Tampa Bay is doing, you look at what Oakland is doing, you look at what Milwaukee is doing. These are small market baseball teams that are putting successful products on the field on a consistent basis. The Pirates aren't. And we see that they're capable of doing this. And yes, we are a small market team and are going to have to operate in small market ways, but we can't. Neil Huntington cannot hide behind that lie anymore. He can't. It's not something that can happen. And yes, while Neil Huntington has had some good trades in the past, a lot of the issues that the Pirates are having are because of him. And to be honest, if anyone on this coaching staff, this current coaching staff, is here in 2020, it's going to send a message to the fans that this organization does not care about winning. And that message has been sent time and time again. And if I had to guess, it's going to continue to be sent. I'll name to you every single person that should be fired this offseason. Or should be fired, now. Clint Hurdle, Tom Prince, Ray Searage, Justin Message, Kamara Barti, Joey Cora, Euclides Rojas, Dave Jouse. These all need to go. There needs to be accountability. Rick Eckstein and Jacob Cruz have done a fantastic job. They deserve to be on this coaching staff in 2020, leading an offense that has been very good. But especially Ray Searage and Justin Message and Clint Hurdle. Those three need to go. As does Neil Huntington. There needs to be a clean slate, and there need to be people brought in that go back to that innovative, forward-thinking ways that was the Pirate way. It wasn't too long ago that this organization was considered one of the most forward-thinking organizations in all of the sport. Now fallen into arguably the worst front office out there. It's because they're stuck in the past and there's no accountability in this organization. The only true accountability that there is the bottom line and is the money accountability. Clearly the guys in place are bringing in the money that Bob Nutting is happy with. And as long as he is happy with the money that is being brought in, there's not going to be any significant change that occurs. And it's a sad reality that is being a Pittsburgh Pirates fan. Sure, there are going to be successful teams in the future. But sustained success is not going to be a possibility and will never be a possibility with the current coaching staff. 4-22 is not acceptable for any team at any point of any season. 4-22